Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I want to do another look with the new Chanel Fall Palette number 58 Intensity. I'm hoping by the time this comes out that it will be available a bit more easily for you guys in the States. It popped up on Nordstrom's and Macy's for a flash of light and then it sold out immediately, but fingers crossed it has been restocked. So before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As you know, I have my beauty consulting service. This is a one-on-one video chat with me, and you get to ask me any questions you have. So if you have questions about upcoming fall collections and which ones work best for you, go ahead and book a session today. Okay, so I have created a couple looks already on my channel. I think this is my third video with this Chanel Fall 2022 collection. I'm going to go ahead and list the other videos in my description box. So the first video that I did was just like a full breakdown of the whole collection, piece by piece, information, swatches, etc. The second video I did two looks in one to help you guys at home get more inspiration. And today we're going to do another, I guess this is our fourth eyeshadow look with this palette here. And it's also going to be a full face of Chanel beauty items, some brand new items, some old favorites. You get the gist. So yeah, this is a look number 4 with this palette here. The longer I have the palette, the more I love it. At first when you see it, it kind of looks, you know, okay, like it looks cute, nothing offensive, but you don't think it's that wow. It's actually quite wow. It's very beautiful, very versatile. You can do super dramatic, intense looks, super light, something in the middle. It's just a really beautiful palette. Sometimes it doesn't look that exciting in the pan, but then when you wear it, it's so flattering. So enough blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and wear it. I'm gonna go ahead and list my brushes in the description box down below. So to start off with, I'm going in with my Refer 16 brush into the light color here. This is like the transition shade. I often go into this one first. And my eyes have been primed off camera with the NARS eyeshadow primer. I'm just going in really liberally here with a big fluffy brush just to add something in the crease. And I have received confirmation from Julia at the Holt Renfrew in Montreal that the Tweeds are coming. They're coming to Canada. So the first little bit of September, I think September 1st, 3rd, or 5th, it's going to be live. I've already reserved all 4 palettes. So if you want the Tweeds, they're going to be coming out in a few weeks and they're going to sell like little hotcakes. So next up, actually, no, I'm going to keep adding some depth. I'm going into this Refer 14. This is for hooded eyes to go into the crease. I'm going into the dark color here. So this one here, just loading it up and then tapping it off. And I'm just going to place it in the outer corner here, like in the crease. I'm not going to take this all the way. I really want to focus this on the outside, and I'm taking my brush here and making sure that I'm not dragging this down too low, because I kind of want to do a little bit of like a cat eye look with it, where I'm just putting the dark color outside here and it's just going to drag a little bit, but there's going to be some blending and maybe a little bit of a Q-tip action to clean it up too. So here, instead of going round and into the crease, I'm just going straight because I do want to blend it. I'm not going like this. I'm just cutting into the eye like this with the brush. That way it is blending, but it's just not big and round. It's a little bit more precise. I'm then taking a separate clean blending brush. This is the Refer 13, and I'm just diffusing this, because if you use one brush to blend and then a separate brush to apply, you're going to just control how dark it is. So it's just going to make your life easier. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and continue fixing it and adjusting it as I go. Now I'm using a Refer 28 and I'm going into this gold color here. This brush is meant to pick up like more shimmery, satiny colors. So I'm just loading this up here. I hope I actually dipped into the shadow. It's hard to tell when I'm not actually seeing what I'm doing, but just going like this and placing it on the inner part of the eye here. Basically everywhere on the mobile lid, except I'm not going high, like I'm not taking it into the dark purple from before. And I'm just taking my little Refer brush, this is the 14. I'm just making sure that I didn't add too much gold over top of the purple. So my lips feel a bit dry, so I'm going into my lip and cheek tint here. This is number 2 Healthy Pink. This is part of the number 1 collection that came out in January, I believe. So just applying this. For the liner, I'm going into number 36 Prune Intense or Prune Intense. This liner goes so well with this palette. I've been wearing this so much since I picked up the palette because it's this really intense purple. It's not too bright, it's not flashy. This is what it looks like. And it's perfect with this palette here. If you have it, wear it. If you don't have it, I would recommend picking this up with the palette here because it works so nicely with the dark purple plum shades. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a thin line on top and also on the bottom waterline as well. To smudge out the bottom liner, I'm going into my Refer 29. This is a really great pencil brush, so I'm just going like this, and then I'm just taking a little bit on the top, just doing like a very, very soft little flick here, just to sort of emphasize that little cat eye we've been working with. Okay, now let's move on to the mascara. This is going to be in 2 parts. I am really loving the base. This is a volumizing, nourishing mascara base. And then I'm going into the No1 Allure Noir mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the base first so you can see. It actually looks white, but once you apply the mascara, it really just disappears. So this helps if you have like a lash density issue, if you need more volume and just like more oomph to your mascara or your lashes in general. This is really good because it's actually like a lash treatment as well. Now let's move on to the face. I'm going to start off with highlighter. I like to layer liquid highlighters or a Baume highlighter underneath the foundation. I find it's just more natural, more subtle. So this one here is the Baume Esssentiel in Ensoleilé. This one came out this summer. It has a little bit of like a rosy hue to it, but it's not a blush, it's a highlighter. So I like to just apply it where I would apply a regular highlighter, and then I put my foundation over top, and I just find it just melts in really nicely and just sort of shines through underneath in a very subtle way. And I'll give you a swatch because I know that it looks like it's going to be really colorful, but it actually isn't. It's way more subtle. It just gives you a beautiful shine with like a whisper of color. So don't be scared to use it. For the foundation, I'm going into the number 1 de Chanel. This is the shade B40 that I'm wearing. And this one came out again in January of this year. Chanel makes great foundations, but I think this one is actually my favorite. It's so light, it's so natural. This is the Chanel foundation brush here. It's so breathable at the same time. Like it covers, but it's like your skin but better, and it's so natural. I love my skin but better, so it makes sense that I'm a big fan of this foundation here. Now for my concealer, I'm going into my favorite new concealer. This is the Chanel Beige Complexion Touch. Technically, you can use it as a foundation, as a concealer. I use 30 as a concealer. I just find that it's like, it's basically just like a glass of water for your under eye, or you can use it all over your face for a more sheer coverage. But as a concealer, I find that it brightens, it hydrates. If you have very dry under eyes, this is perfect. I really would recommend giving it a try. Now I'm going into my beautiful cream bronzer. This is the 390. This is the original one that came out or was remade a few years ago with my Refer number 4. It's like an angled contour brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of bronzer here. Now for the blush, do you know what would look really nice with this eyeshadow palette? The Chaînes de Chanel. This came out, what, like 2 years ago for the holiday release? Remember this one? I saw online that it's still available for sale, so I'm going to wear it because it just looks so nice with this. It's like a plummy with gold, literally what I'm wearing on my eyes. So using a blush brush 05 from Refer, just going into this one here. And I'm just going to go in lightly because I do remember this was a nice opaque blush. So for the lips, I have a couple lipsticks I want to choose. I have 2 specifically from the new Rouge Allure collection. I have a third one too, but I want to pick one of these. I have 196 at Demi-Mot, or I have 211 Subtle. So Subtle is definitely darker, and I feel like it has like a cool mauve-ness to it. I think I want to go with 196. There's no wrong answer here. It's just going to be a question of taste. So this is the makeup look, and I'm just going to add a spritz, a touch of Mademoiselle Eau de Toilette, just to complete the look here. This is the twist one, so you can just refill it whenever you want. It's super fresh, super handy, great for travel. So this is look number 4 with the palette. Like I stated, it's a very versatile palette. You can create many different looks. You can layer this with different eyeliners you have at home. If you just have like plain black or brown, it would work nicely. If you have different eyeshadow palettes, you could go ahead. Like, the world is your oyster. What's the expression? Like, there is no limit to the creativity. It's really just whatever you come up with. You can mix it and match it with whatever you have at home. If you have like burgundy mascara, that would also work with this type of eyeshadow look, depending on what you want to create. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this eyeshadow look today. What do you think of this palette? Leave a comment down below if you've actually received it yet in the mail. I hope so, fingers crossed. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you take the time to subscribe, because we talk about a lot of luxury makeup here, a lot of tutorials, lots of new releases, especially from Chanel. And if you hit the notification bell, it really does make a difference because you get notified when there's a new collection, a new launch, etc. So I would recommend that you do it. And on that note, I think that's all I have for you guys for today. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.